I mean, prime rib is awesome. I've seen multiple friends do it. I'm like, is that special or something?
All your friends are right here.
Okay, Facebook friends, not the real ones.
All of your friends are right here.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the DWF Gaming Podcast. I'm yours truly, Big Yo 76, and with me are these giggling little girls that you can probably see on the video. Adam
No,
Brutus
not
88
little girls.
and Adams 17. What's up, guys?
Giggling like a man.
Like a
man giggles, man side
like a
giggles.
grown ass man, and you don't even do anything that's worth giggling at. But ever since
Nope.
the first time you said your trademark slogan, whenever you do an intro, I can't take it seriously.
Yeah, we just can't
I
help
was going a little mellow. I was leaving the gamer peeps for later.
it. Gamer peeps come first. In the beginning and the end. That's when we hear gamer peeps.
Always.
Well, I'm not redoing the intro, so I say we keep rolling with it.
Yeah, keep rolling.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. How you guys doing?
Good.
I'm good.
I was on the road for like 9 hours today, so that was fun.
Eesh.
I took a nap at work, so that was fun.
I'm telling.
I did a bunch of job applications. That's about as much work as I've got.
Well, I mean, that's something. That's going towards taking naps at work, I guess.
And I put up a clock in my living room that my mom gave us for Christmas. So
Well, I mean,
productive.
you worked technically.
I did something.
Just didn't get paid for the work that you did.
I also did a scav run with Adams and got killed. So
I also was killed later.
yeah. So, anyways, for everybody tuning in, this is going to be our year in review episode. We were supposed to do something like this in the last one, but we got into some.
We got carried away.
And got carried away on a bit of a tangent, but we're looking to stay on course. And being that we're actually recording this on New Year's Eve, I think it's fitting. I think we're on the right mindset. We are, of course, missing our fellow council member Bojo.
The beach.
The beach couldn't be here, but hopefully, not. I'm sure she'll be here for the next one. So tune in for that. But yeah, we'll be going through basically our favorite games of the year, things that came out, things that kind of loosely based on the genre, our experiences with it, and then also go for some notable disappointments, and we'll go from there. I'm sure arguments will ensue. All right, starting us off. I'm going to start off with a game that it actually kind of surprised me in the sense that there wasn't a ton of advertising at first for it, and I really didn't pay it any mind. I actually kind of thought it was the same game as Sekiro or whatever, and then I realized it was a completely different game, and that's Ghost of Tsushima. What's
not
two
all
samurai
alike.
games? Two samurai games.
It's like saying me and Brutus are the same.
Yeah, Juan. What the
Just two white guys.
Just two white guys. All used.
I mean, you're right though.
I honestly, that game came out of nowhere. Like there wasn't that much hype for it. It just kind of popped up, and it was.
Well, I think it had the unfortunate situation of being released after Final Fantasy VII Remake and The Last of Us 2.
Was it after? I thought it was before.
It came out after.
Oh no, it was after. It was like almost right after. And honestly, I stuck with that game first before actually getting into The Last of Us. I haven't even finished it yet, but I started it. I'm in it. I know.
Like I've said a bunch when we've talked before, if it wasn't for Last of Us 2 and Final Fantasy VII Remake, it would have been Game of the Year. Because it was that good. The story, I didn't finish it, but I got far enough to understand. And the gameplay was great in that game.
Yeah, if you didn't get to Act 3, a lot more of the drama happens there. I think if you stayed in Act 2, which is where that part kind of dragged. I will say Ghost of Tsushima sort of dragged on a little bit in terms of like having to do a million quests just to progress. Um, it could have been a little bit shorter, and I think it would have hit that sweet spot for a lot of people. Um, like I know The Last of Us, from what I've heard, that's what they did, right? Like it's not too long, it doesn't drag on. It's
I think it is a little too long, to be honest.
oh, is it?
So it has one ending, and then you play, I don't know, epilogue, prologue, whichever one's at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a whole other mission. And I think they could have omitted the last part because it didn't ruin it, but it did nothing for it. And I would have rather seen it end the first time when it should
Okay.
have been.
So is it safe to say that your action game of the year was The Last of Us, or is it
Yes.
Final Fantasy?
No, it's The Last of Us 2.
Okay. What about you, Bruce?
Handedly.
Well, I'm having a brain fart. Miles Morales. Spider-Man Miles Morales. It was a beautiful game. The gameplay was good. The story was good. The combat is one of the best third-person combats that I've seen. And it was just fun. Like it was very easy to just get lost in it. It's a fantastic game.
So I don't have a PS5, and I kind of will refuse to play that game on anything other than a PS5 because it's sort of the game that what do they call it, the flagship game or whatever.
Yeah, it was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know I know that it's pretty much not copy paste, but it's very closely related to the original Spider-Man game on PlayStation.
So
and I
the
love
combat,
that game.
the combat is copy paste, but the
Okay.
story is vastly different. I actually like the story better in Miles Morales because it touches on a lot of different things that you don't get with Peter Parker.
Yeah, I mean my the most experience that I have with Miles Morales and the backstory on that is Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie. And
Really
so
good.
I think that was a lot of people's introduction to him as
yeah,
well.
yeah, it really is. And I was happy to see that he got his own game.
Yeah.
I definitely look forward to playing that one. I think that's probably going to be a lot of people's favorites. I just
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people have been able to experience it because the PlayStation 5 shortage, and I think that a lot of them have that sort of like I didn't even realize it was on PlayStation 4.
Me either.
And which is it is what it is, but I think a lot of people are kind of have that whole idea like if I'm going to play that game, it's going to be on the PS5.
Yeah, the system that it was
Kind of yeah.
promoted on.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I wish that game had more was more bosses because you got Rhino, not Taskmaster, Rhino, Tinkerer, Prowler, maybe one more. I just wish there was more bosses because Rhino you fought in the first one as Miles
Did
Morales.
it feel like a full game or more of like a DLC?
If it was short, but it felt like a full game.
Okay.
And it felt like a game that you'll get more content for. I imagine they're going to do what they did for this, what they did for the original Spider-Man.
Yeah, you got
and speaking of, if they do that, it'll be fine because the Black Cat DLC was amazing. All 3 episodes were great.
Yeah, that was always good stuff. I enjoyed it. It was free DLC too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Plus, another thing I like about this game is that you can play it on a hard difficulty and make it challenging, but it's also kid friendly.
Okay.
You can get all the trophies on the easiest difficulty, which is great for kids.
Nice, good little morale booster.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I don't think anybody has any objections to any of those. But as always, Twitter, Discord, wherever you happen to see our faces, feel free to tell us we're wrong and what you think your favorite action game of the year was.
Absolutely. Just cuss us out on Twitter and say, hey, look, dicks, you were
I mean,
wrong.
What were some other good action games this year, though?
I don't know if this counts because it kind of touted it as action / RPG / whatever. But I had a lot of fun with Godfall.
Yeah, I'd give that more an action with RPG elements to it.
Yeah, I had originally kind of slated it as like an honorable mention for RPG, and it has the RPG elements, the suit and augments and all that. But that's kind of like calling Assassin's Creed Origin an RPG because you can switch the weapons and the costumes. But no, Godfall was more of an action. I think that's a good honorable mention. I think it was a
I
little
agree.
bit lacking in substance,
Yeah.
but the gameplay was fun. The different weapons, the different suits, and I'm hoping that they'll add more. It wasn't Anthem, so that was good.
Yeah.
Which I think what
It
Anthem was
was.
trying to go for, right? Something similar.
I wish there was more variety in like the hunts and stuff because they felt they were all the same pretty much.
Yeah, it was cookie cutter-ish. Like what they did well, they did it really well, and it's just kind of one of those games where like if I'm tired of playing Warzone or something sweaty, I can just me
Mm-hmm.
and a couple buds can just go and kill
Yeah.
some ads and just have fun with it. But yeah, I'd say Godfall was a good action game. Um, what else came out this year in the action realm? Was it light or am I just not coming
I
up with
think
anything?
Neo 2 came out,
You played
but
that one,
that's I did hard as fuck.
right? Yeah. Oh, well, you also played it was kind of a quiet release, but it looked fun from what I saw you play. Mortal Shell.
Damn it, that was
Oh
my
yeah,
RPG, you son of a bitch.
Not an RPG.
I consider it an
it
RPG.
it's yeah, it's
I get
action
it.
RPG. I think that's the genre it would fall in.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, damn it, now I'm not gonna be
But
able to talk during RPG.
yeah, you will.
Hey, well,
We
maybe
can
you
just
won't. I
segue
don't
into RPG right now.
know. All right, I got my RPG of the year.
Oh God, I know what it is.
No, you guys go first. See if you can up.
Well, mine is the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah, classic remake of an RPG that's one of the best of all
Easy.
time.
There
So
were some things that I wish they did differently, but overall, it was a great game. And one of my favorite characters out of the entire year isn't even a playable character in that game, and they did an amazing job with her, Jessie.
Jesse, yeah, I've seen you mention her on Twitter a couple times. I'm not too familiar with the Final Fantasy, but watching you play it, it looked fun. I like that they made it action but kept the
Yes.
RPG
The
foundation, right? Like,
yeah, my only gripe is the end where you fought Severhoth, who was the main boss of the first one. You're fighting him way too soon in the story. And then I wish that they changed the characters you're not controlling or telling what to do feel useless. I wish there was some way you could tell them what to do and when to do it without actually having to click on them.
right?
But other
I
than that, the
remember
game
seeing a
is
couple of your
great.
battles and the dude with the gun.
Barrett.
Like, you'd be in the middle of doing something, and the dude's just kind of like yelling at you and hurling insults, and he's just kind of
Yeah.
doing his own thing in the background. Yeah, I mean, the closest I can come to that RPG wise, that I really like the way they handled it. Mind you, they didn't have the action component, but they had the RPG and squad component. Was Arc of the Lad 2. Um, every member of the squad had a responsibility or a role, and you would control, and everything that was done, you had to do. You had to control.
Yeah.
Um,
So what I wish, so in Final Fantasy 12, there's a gambit system, and you can set every character to a certain thing. You can say at less than 30% health, cast this spell. Full health, do this. Full health, do that. Enemy health, do this. I wish it was like that because then it would
oh
give me more
yeah,
control without actually having to switch characters.
yeah, and that would play in line with like a lot of RPGs do in terms of like setting certain augmentations. 15% health, your heals do 50% more. Or
Yep.
whatever, or you do more damage at lower health. Which Ghost of Tsushima had that with the charms. One thing that
Yeah.
actually Ghost of Tsushima did in their update is um, the armors. So each armor had its own buff, and then you had charms that you could put on your sword to complement the buff. So if you put on like a Ronin or an assassin's type costume, you could set the charms that would augment your ghost weapons and make you harder to detect. And when with the update, whenever you equip that suit, it would equip the charms that you had previously set for it. Whereas in the past, you could change the suits and the charms would never change. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent, but
No, you're good.
that's
It was a
similar to
mild
what I
tangent.
think you're saying about Final Fantasy VII being able to sort of set those limits.
What about you, Brutus?
Mortal Shell.
We already know what the game is,
Yeah. Dude,
but
I
why?
liked it. I liked that it kept RPG elements like classic RPG games, but it was like all action. You know, there was no turn-based shit like they did in older RPGs, which I know was you. I know how you feel about turn-based Adams. You liked it and all that, but
Yeah, that's why I
was-
started Dragon Quest 11 because it's turn based and
I
it's
was
fucking
never
great.
a big fan of turn-based. You know, you have. I feel like when you're in direct control of the action, minus turn-based, you can just do so much more.
I'm surprised if you like turn-based, you haven't tried out Divinity: Original Sin 2.
No, I didn't like the
got
first one. That's
into
why
it until the games. Say it again.
I didn't like the first one. That's why I
Uh,
didn't play the second one.
But no,
fucking,
it was
second
fun.
hard
It was
shit.
fun. You could just run around and hack shit to pieces, and level up and get your abilities and all that shit. And
Yep.
I don't know, man. I like games that are anymore now, especially over the last few months or so. I'm getting more into games that are. I mean, I still play some hardcore games like Tarkov and shit, but I'm getting into games that are chill. Like I just kind of run around, hack and slash shit, maybe level this up, work on this ability, do this or that.
Yeah.
If I die, no big deal, unless it's a boss battle and the boss has this much health left, and then I die, then I'm fucking raging. But and that was a
For
really
those
good
who
game.
can't see him, he held his fingers very,
Oh,
very.
they'll be able to see that. Look, very
Oh, they're listening on Spotify.
tiny. Oh, I forgot about we do this on Spotify too.
He held his
And-
fingers approximately 3 millimeters
And
apart.
iTunes.
And
Exactly.
iTunes. And
Exactly
anywhere
how,
else they let us post our stuff on.
exactly how I hold my fingers when I pee.
Okay.
Oh man, always comes back to Dick. So
So-
Mortal Shell was good. The only problem was that it was extremely short. A lot of the boss,
Very fucking
a lot of the boss fights were fun though. There was maybe one that I didn't like the mechanics of, but that's just preference. The rest of them were fun.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Spartan kicking enemies off of shit is
Yes.
very satisfying.
Yeah,
And
that
they
was
had
another
this.
game that I feel like it was underrated. Not a lot of hype, not a lot of marketing
No,
for it.
yeah, I agree. And it was actually a good Dark Souls like game.
Mhm.
I feel like when those kind of games come out, Dark Souls is the standard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. will
And
always
this was a solid one.
You can even I would say Dark Souls is like the golden standard, and then you have the silver standard, which would be like Bloodborne.
I actually think Bloodborne is better than Dark Souls.
I love Bloodborne. I couldn't finish it because I sucked. I've never been very good at those Dark Souls games, but that was like when I was a younger player.
Me either. And you
I've
see me
evolved.
struggle through all of them.
I know, and actually watching you play has told me, you know what, because I have this thing where like I would always be afraid of losing the souls or whatever, and so it just keeps knocking my souls away, and then I'm like, man, I'm just losing stuff, and I'm always gonna be low level piece of shit. But then I watch you play.
I know how that.
Mind you, you're better at them than me, so I'm not saying you play like shit. But I'm saying is you take the
No,
losses.
you're like
and
if
you
this guy
come-
can do it, I know I can.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it done, and it's not
This
like
guy's
some
an
like,
idiot. I can do
it's
this.
not like
Yeah,
some.
this guy
It's
sucks.
not like some savant somewhere playing the game that can beat.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
With DK bongos. Y'all seen
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
It was just yeah. Anyways,
I'm looking
But yeah,
forward to
Mortal
Demon Souls remaster as well. I've never beaten that one.
yeah, that was the original one, right?
Yeah,
Sweet. That'll be out in 2021.
Demon Souls is already out.
No, it's out already. Sorry, yeah, it came out with the PS5.
Get your facts straight.
Sorry. I am by no means an expert, just an enthusiast.
Yeah, we're all amateurs here.
Yeah. Well, my RPG of the year. And bring on the hate. I don't give a shit. Cyberpunk 2077.
Don't understand.
I have played it for over 30 hours now, I believe. I've got about 30 hours in it. tip of the iceberg, and I have not experienced any flying penises. I have not experienced the crab.
He called the dick a penis.
I have not experienced. The only the only semblance of a bug that I've seen was I drove my motorcycle onto like an embankment, and it kicked me off. And when I looked, it was stuck in there, and I just called another car, or I stole a car and drove away, and that was it.
I don't think it's a bad game. I don't think the story is bad. I think it has tons of content. My issue with it is how bad they fucked over people on previous
Yes.
gen consoles, and that makes me not even want to give it a chance.
I've never once shit on the content of the game, and everything I've watched, like I've said, the game looks like it would be fun for me to play. The fact is that the game is not playable for the vast majority of the community,
Not even
and
the vast majority.
it's insane.
PC
Xbox
player,
and PlayStation can't play it.
PlayStation
Past
Pro,
gen consoles.
PlayStation Pro, and Xbox.
But they can't buy it because it's not on the fucking store anymore. So no, they
It's
can't.
it's
play
not on
it.
the PlayStation Network, but they can go to GameStop and pick up a PS4 copy today. They
But
can
if it's
order
not
it
on the
from
PlayStation
Amazon.
Network, they're not going to get any patches or anything for it.
No, I don't. I don't.
Why,
I thought
why would they
just yanked
patch
it
a
off the
game they're
store.
not even selling?
Yeah, no, they're definitely still passing the patches through.
On PS5 maybe.
No, I don't
On
see
the
how.
older gen, if it's not on your console's network, then you're not going to get the automatic rollouts of patches and shit.
And like you still continue to defend it, but there's no way to defend a game that they issue refunds back for digital copies.
Because of performance issues, not content.
You say that like performance isn't a big deal.
No, I say that in my opinion, I played multiple games, and out of all of the RPGs that I played, that one was my favorite.
So like
It's
I said,
my way.
I'm not shitting on the content, like Adam said.
I
From what I've
agree. I
played of it,
agree.
I think it would be fun, but the way that the developer released this game did so many people dirty, and I just can't. That's a trend we're seeing more and more, especially as the internet gets better and better. They're releasing these half-assed,
No, okay,
broken
but
pieces
see,
of shit, and
no,
then
but
they
don't tell me.
patch
So
it.
are you never gonna play another Square Enix game?
Me personally,
Square
Yeah.
Enix is my favorite company.
But they
And it
released
has
a
been since
big-ass
97.
game that I can't even
Yes.
play through.
And as you have heard, that game is not on any list that I have.
No, well, it's on my disappointment list, but I'll get to that later. But what I'm saying is look, I admit that CD Projekt Red really screwed the pooch on the release, but it's affecting.
And the after release and
no, what they
Their-
screwed the pooch
their
on was their
pre-release was
ability
great.
to develop a fucking game. Like you said, you are
They
one of the
overreached.
lucky-
So they tried to do too much. If they would
you
just
are one of the
released
lucky
it,
ones who can play it. But I gotta tell you, man, with this shortage of new consoles that's out now, and all the hype they put around
no,
2077,
you can go get a PS4 Pro today, and it will play the
okay,
game.
but the shortage of the new consoles, what everybody wants, and the ability to not, because if you have a regular PS4
that's-
and you want,
but that's
and you
not-
want, and you
but
want a PS5, why the fuck are you gonna go buy a PS4 Pro? That
I
doesn't make any
agree. I
sense.
agree with that. Well, I mean, first of
They-
all,
they
they're offering free PS5 upgrades now. So if you really want to play the game and you have a PS4 Pro and you're waiting for that PS5, you can go buy the game and get
Who's
your upgrade.
offering this? So, but okay, so they'll upgrade your game from PS4 to PS5. Whoop-de-doo, you've done spent hundreds of dollars on a PS4 Pro, then you're gonna spend hundreds of dollars again as soon as the PS5 is available.
Obviously, I'm talking. Well, I mean, that the PS5 shortage is not CD Projekt Red's fault.
It's not.
No,
Zero.
Cyberpunk is.
No.
That's just a perfect storm situation.
I agree that it's not CD Projekt Red's fault at all, but the fact that they
So you put your hopes on Bible.
completely took a dump on people on old consoles.
Especially
I'm
when
not
this game was
defending-
announced for last gen consoles.
Part
Part of their marketing was for PS4 and Xbox, and they fucked it all up.
I'm not defending the
They
release.
fucked it all
I'm
up.
not defending the fact that you can't play the game on PS4 and old school Xbox. I'm not defending that you can't play it on.
30% of the people can't play it on PC because of the bugs. You're one of the lucky ones who happen to get, for whatever reason, just yours is fine.
I have a pre-made PC, and all I've got. I mean, I have a 2070 Super, which is a good GPU, but the processor bottlenecks it, and I'm getting like roughly between 40 and 60 frames, so it's not
Turn them
super
graphics
smooth.
down, man.
Fucking PS4 is
I already
struggling
did.
at
I've already
15.
optimized as much as I can. It plays smooth enough to where I don't notice any kind of tearing
Yeah.
or anything weird. So I'm not complaining. Like to
Yeah,
me,
as long as you have VSync on, you're not gonna notice any
yeah.
weird shit.
So it looks great to me.
Yeah.
If I turn off the frame counter, I'd never really notice that I'm playing at lower than 60 FPS.
I mean, I will give you that the game does look fun, and it looks like it's got all kinds of shit to do, and you can just get lost in it for hours. But
Yeah,
the developer just
all I'm saying,
fucked it all up.
my favorite
Fucked it all
RPG
up.
this year was Cyberpunk 2077. To me, this is my list. It delivered on what
Your list can be wrong. It's fine.
No, I'll give you. Listen, if you take out the release, the pre-release, the delays, if you take out the fact that it can't be played on old consoles, and you take out all the bugs, I'll give you that content wise and playability wise, it's probably the best RPG of this year.
I guarantee. And I mean, they're not like I said. They fucked up on the part where they released it, probably knowing that it couldn't play on a regular PS4 or regular Xbox. But a year from now, when stuff is patched and everybody has their PS5s and people get over the grudge,
That's if it recovers, though.
I think it will.
Because it's hard for games to recover.
And you're proving our point about the release because you're saying a year from now. A year from now, why does it take a year for a developer to fix a fucking game?
No, I'm just.
That was supposed to be out a year ago.
It could be 3 months. It could be 4 months. It could be 3 days. I don't know.
That game should be optimized and finished the day it releases. I can
Well,
understand
that's
and forgive
true.
small.
No, but I mean,
But
how many of
nothing
those
does
games
that
come out
anymore.
like that? Look at Bethesda. Look at Square
No,
Enix.
I'm not saying that they're not in the fucking wrong too. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you're a developer, other than minor bug fixes that you've discovered towards the end of your development, where you roll out a release day patch, a small one, not a fucking Call of Duty patch, your game should be mostly optimized and mostly playable without releasing a patch.
I agree.
So I don't know how optimized it is for the PS5 and the PC, but it works. Like the only thing that it's not optimized for is 7-year-old technology.
That it was announced for.
That's my issue, is that it was announced for the old console.
It's not like they were like, you know what, last minute, let's make this for the PS4. It was like, oh, this is releasing for a PS4.
I think they got ambitious, and I'd rather them be ambitious with it than lackluster.
And then what they should have done was just say, all right, it's a PS5 launch title. Fuck last gen because it's trash.
I don't think they got ambitious. I think they
fucked up
for the old consoles. The new consoles were coming. They optimized it for the new consoles, and then said, "Oh fuck, we gotta scale this thing back for the old ones." And then they fucked all the coding up when they did that.
No, I look. They had stupid amounts of delays. I think they overhyped it because I will say that as much hype as they put about customization and how you were going to be able to do everything, like you really once you start the game, you can't change your hair, you can't change your body type.
Why is
tattoos or anything like that? Which that to me is a missed opportunity. They just missed it in that.
Why is dick size relevant?
I don't know.
If you can't use it, don't have it there.
I don't know. The only thing that I can think of is because they got into a bit of a PR scenario where there was like anti LGBTQ trans stuff, and so the community was upset, and so they wanted to offer a way to where you could choose a gender and then choose your genitalia, and then
no, I don't
make it to where people could relate.
We've talked about this before, and never in my life have I been like, you know what, I wish I could make his penis bigger.
Not you, but
why?
Other people may have. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like I know that there was an issue.
Did they do like fucking studies, and they were like 90% of people wishes they could make this dude's dick 8 inches?
No, I
It's
think
just,
they did the
it's
study where
ridiculous.
like a certain percentage of the gaming community feels like they're outsiders when it comes to selecting male or female, and that's it. And it's 2020, and now they want people are asking for options. They want to be female with penises or male with vaginas,
He
and
called the dick a penis again.
whatever. Point is that I know that there was an issue between a CD Project Red senior member and the trans community, and then this was part of their sort of inclusiveness thing. Because at the end of the day, I mean, 90% of people don't give a shit, but 90% of people also aren't gonna really. Oh, I'm not playing the game because it lets me pick a dick. Like they'll just shrug it off because you can choose not to have anything. Like it's just you can choose
I
to
can
omit
be
that
a
part.
Ken doll.
I think it slaps boxers on them or something
Sign me up. Forget everything I just said.
like that.
I can make a video game character just like me.
Jeez, that's a young father. Everybody, young father, right
Yeah,
there.
he's not mine.
um, yeah, he is.
What's
I've seen the pictures. He's definitely your kid.
yeah, he's definitely you without a beard. There's no question in that.
He's my twin.
Yeah.
Poor little kid.
But there it
Yeah,
is.
that's
You can
rough.
definitely feel free to come and either tell Adams and Buddhist to go fuck themselves. It's a great game, or you can go tell me to go fuck myself that it is a piece of shit, and I will tell you you're wrong.
I mean, you held
Let's-
your own pretty well in the argument. I'll give you that.
That's
Hey,
because we
look,
argued about it earlier, and he had time to prepare.
Hey, prepare
I,
your
I,
witness.
I've played the game. I've played the game. You guys haven't. That's my argument. And it's not because you can't handle it. Both of your PCs can handle it. So
Absolutely.
is that a toilet seat butt pad or something?
No, these are my kissing dolphin balloons.
What's next, Juan? What genre's
All right,
next?
all right, all right. BRs. I'd say
Warzone.
Warzone, right? There's really
Moving
not.
on.
No, okay, all right. My favorite, actually, and I want to say, especially during the beginning of the year, I felt like survival games were sort of like kind of a hot topic. A lot of people were playing some of the older titles like The Forest. Um, was it
Rust made
Seven
a
Days
big
to Die?
comeback.
Rust.
Ark made a
Well,
big
you know,
comeback.
Grounded did release this year, and that was
Grounded
another
was a
survival
big,
game.
Yeah, so survival games definitely made a.
Grounded was
Yeah.
a giant flop.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't like
still
it.
technically a pre-release or a beta or whatever.
But,
But anyways, it was fun while it lasted. But I think, and this isn't even. I'm not going straight off of games released this year, but just the 2020 survival game of the year is and still is Escape from Tarkov.
Freaking-lutely.
And I say this as a guy who ignored it for like the first 8 months, 9 months, and then Brutus here just kind of got the bug and spread it to the rest of us. And
yeah, like a VD.
especially with the wipe, with the wipe that just happened, like it's fun, man. I'm having a blast with it. Once you get over the gear fear, it's really enjoyable.
It's
And
such
yeah,
a roller coaster ride. Like, I will literally lose $500,000 in a night. All right. And like two or three raids, 500,000 gone. Good guns gone, optics gone. And I get so fucking pissed, man. And I reach over and I hold the power button down on my PC. I don't even want to close the game. I'm like, fuck this shit. And I leave. And then I go out in my living room watching TV and I'm like, I think I want to do a scav run. I think I want to get some of my shit back.
So that's
And
why I
then
reinstalled it.
Then I come right back to it. I'm
Fuck that game.
gone for 10 minutes. And
yeah, it drives me nuts that I can go into a scav run, come out. I want to say I'm like at 75% reliability on it, and not reliability, but like 75% exfil.
survivability, yeah, on scabs, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm running like 15% on PMC.
And then I go on, PMC, and I get smoked. But I'm starting to learn more about so I unlocked the weapons bench or whatever, so I can like do the weapon modding. So I'm learning how to like.
Damn, how'd you get the weapons bench already? Where'd you get fucking car batteries for your other shit?
You don't need card batteries for the weapons bench. You just need a level 1 generator, and your weapons bench, you need screws, bolts, and a multi-tool.
You're a multi-tool.
Damn, I need to get I need to get a multi-tool.
Multi-tool is 23,000 rubles with a mechanic. Easy peasy.
Well, fuck.
Yeah. And so once you unlock that, and then you unlock the flea market, you can start modding your weapons. And then, like, if you need a piece, you can just go to the flea market.
Yeah, what the flea market is key in that game.
Yeah, unfortunately, if they were leveling up scavs and PMCs, I'd be like
It's
a
the
level
same. Yeah.
2. But I'm a level 2 PMC, dude. It's annoying.
Yeah, I'm a level 6 bandit. I got to get the Jaeger quest. I tried twice last night, and both times I got his letter out of his hideout, and both
That's
times got smoked by extract campers.
That's
Gross.
And Woods,
let's-
by the way, because they made Woods double the size, they put landmines. Fuck that place, man. I'm so lost on that.
Why does it need landmines?
It has landmines. They took away the gate, the fence all the way around the perimeter, and it's just landmines. But there's also landmine fields randomly placed throughout the middle. There's signs that tell you there's landmines there, but sometimes you don't see them, and next thing you know, you have 2 broken legs.
I see landmines warning and do.
Yep.
That's Buddhist right
And I have had many broken legs on Woods. I took a guy I've met who knows the map pretty well last night. He's the one who helped me grab it, but we both got smoked by extract campers on the way out. We even went at night.
Night vision or night mode.
Bummer.
Yeah, we didn't use night vision. There's a trick on the game. Take post FX and turn sharpness all the way up, and it brightens the fuck out of the game. You don't need night vision.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Not a piece of shit.
If the game
does
lets
it.
you do it.
Everybody does it.
You hear that, Chad? Hacker.
You can't see
Get outta here.
great, but you can see.
Enough to navigate.
Yeah, night vision is still better, but I have big time gear fear for that Christmas present package that we all got with the big
Yeah, I'm
AK
not
shit.
fucking with that. Till I can buy a replacement,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not running through.
I'm taking that one in the next PMC we do. It's
During
on
the
my
day.
character. It's on my character right now.
Dude,
Be like, fuck this, I'm uninstalling.
if y'all go to my Discord, you can see the scav run I did last night. And this is the kind of scav run that makes you like, fuck, I can't quit this game. All the Christmas gear that they gave you, the badass MRX, a drum mag, the badass fast helmet, the badass mechanism backpack. I see a group of a group of just dead bodies, and lo and behold, I see that red gun, and I just yoinked all that, stole everything. Had 2 guys run past me. I shitted myself twice. And it was like 5 minutes left in the raid. It was the extract was passage between 2 rocks. I got passed it up, then I came back and I was getting lost because I was getting too excited.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally found it, and then sure as shit, I hear shots nearby. I'm like, fuck. And then extract, and then like my hands were shaking. But
Yeah,
I
dude, the
came out
game will
so
raise
much.
your heart rate will go up, your adrenaline will pump, your hands will shake.
It was nuts, man. But like very few games have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Warzone was
Only at the end.
because when it's not broken, right? It's like DMR kills.
It's broken 90% of the time.
That's why Resurgence, like
It wasn't broken in season 5 at all, and then it got broke before and after season 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, didn't season 5 have the Bruin, or was that after season?
Yeah, no, 5.
That was towards the end.
but I don't consider that broken.
It was.
It was
It's
just a
just-
meta gun. The DMR is broken. The MAC-10 is broken. The Origin shotgun was broken. The fire
I don't even
shotgun
think
was
the Mac-
broken.
I don't feel like the MAC-10 is broken. They need to reduce the range because a gun with a
When
high
you
rate
can
of
hit,
fire.
when you're
The range
smoking
is
people
great.
across the map.
Yeah, the range is bad on the MAC-10. Like I feel like you shouldn't be able to land that many hits that accurately.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I've seen some of these kills, like it's a little ridiculous. But up close, it should absolutely be able to shred you the way it
Yeah.
does.
Mm-hmm.
But the most balanced SMG that I've seen in the game is the MP5. If it was something along that line, but that's the thing is, so one of the streamers I was watching made a very good point that Call of Duty Warzone just has the illusion of options, when in fact you really don't. Like right now, if you're not running an MP or sorry, a Mac 10 and the
DMR.
DMR, you're fucked. Like,
I don't
and
run any of that.
which
Well,
is
Tarkov's the same way. Once you get to later in the wipe, you don't have options. If you're not running a Meta M4 with the M855A1 armor piercing ammo, with no recoil Meta M4 build and level 6 armor, you're getting fucking smoked in every engagement.
an engagement, yes. In the scavenger or an opportunistic, not necessarily.
No, if you're chilling in a bush, but the problem is if you don't happen to kill him in 1 or 2 shots and this motherfucker turns around, you are donezo.
I mean, look, I watched Darkness 429 today. It was him and 3 people. One guy took out 3 of them, and they're all kidded the fuck out. I mean, these are guys that are playing Tarkov for the last 2 weeks, almost 8 hours a day. They're all kidded out. This one guy took out 3 of them, and then took out Darkness got him, but then a random got him with an MP 133 shotgun. There are
Shotguns are
Tarkov.
stupid broken in Tarkov.
I really. Here's one thing that does piss me off about Tarkov is I don't know if something's broken or if it's just legitimately they got
There's
got
so much different ammo.
But like this dude, I mean, the engagement between them two, it was like a lot of back and forth, and I want to say the guy ran out of ammo, switched to a shotgun, whereas Darkness just reloaded, and the dude was close enough and just popped him in the face. But what I'm saying is Tarkov, I mean, in real life, a shotgun after you've already taken a few rounds, shotgun's gonna finish you off.
Dude, a shotgun up close is gonna finish you off in 1
Yeah.
round.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think Tarkov has broken guns per se. It definitely has its share of shitty guns. I unloaded an entire magazine of that bullshit SMG, the PP9.
Yeah.
The one I shot Brutus with 800 times.
Yeah, and it didn't kill this guy.
Nope.
I don't
That's
like
ammo. That's all ammo though.
True.
I mean, if you're running the 6.3 rip rounds in it, 2 shots will go through level 6 armor. and kill
Yeah.
the dude.
Yeah. No, and that's what I'm saying. So the one thing Tarkov doesn't have going for it is towards the end of the game, if you don't have shit, it's very hard to climb up that. But I also feel like, look, and mind you, you do have to level up your vendors, which is a pain in the ass. But I mean, you can get decent armor, you can get decent guns. Really, I feel like any gun. Like I was messing around with the ADAR. I finally was able to figure out how to put a sight on it, put a red dot sight on it, and I'm like 2-tapping scavs from a moderate range, no problem.
Yeah, you put that M855A1 ammo in it, dude. You'll 2-tap PMCs at range.
I mean, and ADARs are everywhere.
ADAR is a decent gun if you can get a different stock on it, especially. Changes the ergonomics because that wood stock's heavy, so the ergonomics on it are shit.
That makes sense.
Which isn't a big deal when you're out in the open, but if like you're inside dorms or you're inside factory or something, that it just sucks.
Yeah. I experienced. I did an offline range just to give it a test run, and there was a dude literally like 10 feet from me, and I just unloaded the whole clip on him, and like I could tell I hit him, but he ran away from me. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But then you 2-tap him, taking your time, and like, yeah, it just.
Well, see, we're low enough level that our recoil control is terrible. So fully auto or just spamming that trigger, even if you're on semi-auto, fucks us more than it helps us because the gun just fucking jumps.
Yeah,
up
it's
and
very
die.
rare. It's very rare in that game that I just let it rip. It's usually tap tap or a little bit of a burst. Like
I let it
Yeah.
rip if they scare me and I'm inside a dorm's hallway, or I
yeah,
let it rip.
yeah. Enclosed, yeah. I'm just gonna hold it.
And I have let it rip to keep somebody pinned down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My least favorite gun in that damn game is the VSS. It's shit. I don't like it. But then again, I was trying to use it in a dorm with the sniper scope.
That's on you.
That's might be on me.
So,
But anyways,
moving on.
The King of Survivals, Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
I think we all agree here.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
definitely would like to hear from other people out there what their thoughts on survival games are, because there's a lot of indie games that sort of do the survival thing, and I
Mhm.
and I like it. I'm actually Epic Games had a free one called The Long Dark, and I'm gonna try that one out. All right, cool. Moving on. I think this is a fun genre. This year, this genre really, I think, hit a stride. The party game genre. Um, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
go take the first one because I'm pretty sure most of us agree. Phasmophobia. I have not experienced fear like that since we got back into Tarkov.
So when you initially play the game, your first couple of ghost hunts, it is the scariest fucking thing I've ever played.
Yeah.
You
But
get
once you
used
figure
to it
out,
after a while, but
Here's the
man,
thing: is I never played it.
I mean, it'll still get you though. It will still get you, but you kind of know what to expect.
I mean, I literally screamed the first time the ghost took a footstep next to me, and then
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
saw then I saw
that
that
hot
naked
breath in your
motherfucker.
ear.
yeah. When I hear the whispering or the breathing in my ear, oh, dude, my heart just goes racing, man.
And it's honestly, it's such a shitty game. The graphics are shit. The movement is shit. It's unoptimized as hell,
But the
but it's
content,
so much fun.
yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like these game, like a game doesn't have to be performance. It doesn't have to be graphics. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be good. And I want to say I think I heard Phasmophobia was just made by one guy.
Yep,
I mean,
that's
fuck,
my
dude. Hats
understanding as
off
well.
to him is he made a great game. A
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
lot of
yeah,
fun. People are still playing it. I mean, it creeps people out. It creeps me out. I
they need to do more though to increase the scares. They need like rats running through shit. They need different sounds because right now every sound is the same.
yeah, I'm
It
hoping.
still gets
I
me
mean,
most of the time though.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he's had offers or he's getting offers to either other studios wanting to jump in with him or people. You know,
Hmm.
he's definitely got to have the capital now to at least bring on a couple more developers or whatever he needs to.
yeah,
And because the ideas that people have spouted out for that game, like you just said, Adams, this is stuff that probably off the top of your head you can come up with as a game developer, but you're like, yeah, but the coding and the amount of time that it
yeah.
takes
Hmm.
Well, and
is
if
too.
he if he changes the sounds of the ghost, you're going to be able to tell what it is based on the sound, and that will kind of defeat the purpose. But they got to figure something out to differentiate all of them.
I mean, that game has a lot of potential. And
Yeah,
if not him, then I guarantee you there's going to be a copycatter that's going to come out with something more polished
yeah,
Hmm.
and
yeah.
kind
There
of.
were two other party games that came out this year too that kind of took the world by storm.
Yeah.
Yep,
Which
Among
were
Us and Fall Guys.
and Fall Guys,
Among Us
exactly.
and Fall Guys.
I would.
Like Fall Guys has kind of fallen off, but Among Us is still going
Yeah,
pretty strong.
Fall Guys. I like the premise behind it. It's kind of fun. It kind of has like a
You all do realize that Among Us came out in 2018, right?
Yeah,
no.
but it blew up this year.
I don't know why it blew up because it averaged less than 100 players online at the same time for like the first 2 years it was out, and then all of a sudden it just exploded.
Yep.
When it first came, because I know that a lot of people first experienced it on mobile, and it was a free mobile game. And I wonder if that's what catapulted to like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yep. It only takes a couple people to get shit to blow.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, that's true. A few videos, one or two big
Yep.
streamers, and all of a sudden, it's the big hit. You even had like senators playing it online, and all the big streamers, and it's a fun game. I enjoyed it. I
Only
don't
for a
think
little bit though.
I don't think I've ever yelled and distrusted my friends so much as playing that damn game.
Yeah, I can only play it for like an hour tops.
Yeah. It's so intense. Like I remember there was this one time, and it's me, Adams, and the killer. And the killer voted for me. I voted for the killer, and I'm just yelling at Adams like, Adams, I'm telling you,
It's because you
I
had lied to me
voted
before.
for you. It's not
That's
me.
exactly what the killer would say.
Yep.
And I told him you're gonna lose the game if you pick me, and he picked me. I
And
was
it's just a
so
game, so I don't
furious.
care.
I was furious.
You can fuck yourself.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's those games you that bring out these super intense reactions and emotions, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing with Megan. Um, she was so good at playing the victim, and I would be like, "Look, me and you are hanging out. Obviously we're not talking, but like, I decided that we just run together so that she can vouch for me and I'll vouch for her, and because she's always being the victim, and all of a sudden, boom, she kills me, and like, holy! I think
Yep.
I just grabbed the pillow and yelled into it so loud. I was so pissed at that. It was ridiculous, man. But great party game. That's definitely. I would definitely put it. I liked Phasmophobia because of how much interaction and like the crazy scare
Mm-hmm.
emoji. But Among Us was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And again, Fall Guys was a great game. A lot of people played it. It's a good, just bullshitting around game. Um, I'm sure if I ever had a what the hell do they call it when you win?
I don't
Something
know.
chicken royale? No,
I
whatever. If
win.
I ever gotten a crown, in there, I would probably be more excited about it. But I always got bumped off by some dickhead. But yeah, party games. I think they made a good resurgence. Excited to see what else people can come up with on that front. Let's see, next genre. Um, Shooters, just good old fashioned shooters. Um, my favorite, and I was expecting to be disappointed by it because Modern Warfare was so good, but actually Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, man, I have a lot of fun in the multiplayer. It's definitely a different engine, but it's that old engine that I think we all grew up with, and so I don't know if like the nostalgia kicks in or what. But I
I
had a
was
lot
just
of fun
happy
with
the M16 was back.
the M16, a
Yep,
good old
that's all.
favorite. I'm happy with my AK. It punches in that game, not like in the
The
Modern
AK
Warfare
slaps in Cold War.
one. But yeah, I know. As far as shooters go, I think that was the best one. To be honest, I can't think of one that came out that I think even challenges it in that pure shooter genre.
For me, it was Doom Eternal.
Rogue Company might. Maybe Valorant.
So Rogue Company was my honorable mention. Rogue Company is a lot of fun. I just feel like Rogue Company doesn't have as much substance as Cold War. I mean,
No, that depends on what you like. Like, there's way more game modes in Cold War and stuff, but I think Rogue is gearing up to be more towards competitive players.
no, I mean I agree. I'm just saying there's still like I still feel like even like on something as small as cosmetics, like you don't really have that many skins. You don't have they're all
Well,
expensive
yeah,
shit. Um, you just even like Valorant, for example, like
Valorant is too expensive for their shit. Insane.
yeah, yeah. Well, they had the cheaper stuff, but they had a lot of skins. They had charms. They had little things that you could do. And
Plus, the mechanics of Valorant, I fucking cannot stand.
dude, as much as we played it, I'm surprised you're saying that. I mean, like I
There's a reason I don't play it anymore.
yeah, but we had a long Valorant run, and
Mm-hmm.
even within the Discord, like we were playing Valorant pretty regularly for a while. But I like I really like in that competitive sort of siege and Valorant and Rogue Company definitely takes the cake for me. Um, it is fun, the different characters, and I like the aesthetics. Like it's just a cool looking game. But the masters of the genre, COD, Cold War, that's my vote.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Doom Eternal.
Did I Doom? I played the first one. I didn't play Eternal, but I did see that it's on Game Pass, I believe. So I
Yep.
might
Doom
give it a go.
Eternal. It felt like an old Doom, but was a just absolutely gorgeous game. It took me back 20 years. I had an absolute blast running, gunning, and slaying fucking enemies, and I
That was on the
really,
gameplay.
really enjoyed it. Like I play a lot of Cold War, but for something to just sit down and run through and play, man, Doom Eternal was an absolute blast.
That was last year. That was Wolfenstein for me. I love
I
that.
love the Wolfenstein games. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, so good. Was it BJ Blazkowicz?
Yep.
I haven't played Youngblood. That one's I
I
think
haven't
on
played
Game
Youngblood
Pass.
either.
I think it's on Game Pass as well. So if you guys want
It
to,
might
That's
be.
the newest one, right?
Yeah.
yeah, the DJ or BJ's daughters.
Okay.
You can play it co-op with a friend.
Oh no shit.
Like it's geared to be very co-opy. That's why you have twin sisters. So
Hmm.
like one to run through the top floor, one to run through the bottom floor. And
I'll run through that with you.
yeah,
'Cause
like I
I
said,
love
I want to
Wolfenstein games.
say I'll look and I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass. And yeah, download it and run that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Those are my thoughts on the shooters. Um, and then I don't because we don't talk about it a lot. But I don't know if you guys ever play any real time strategy games, kind of like
Mhm.
Age of
No.
Empires or was it Blood Brother? No,
StarCraft.
StarCraft, all that. Yeah,
I can't
Warhammer,
remember. Oh,
uh,
what
Empires,
was the one?
Anno
I used to play
1800.
Command and Conquer when I was younger.
Command
Yeah.
and Conquer. That's what I was thinking of.
But for any of you out there that play it, and feel free to turn me on to some other ones. But I got a hold of. I've always been a huge fan of the Age of Empires series.
Absolutely.
Age of Empires 3, the definitive edition. It's on the Xbox Game Pass right now. It's a great game, and it's one of those games where like you can like if you're not feeling sweaty, but you kind of have that edge to like just. It's almost like solving a very refreshing puzzle.
Hmm.
That's a great game, and like the graphics were made a little bit better. The civilizations, they all have their own unique skins. They all have unique
Hmm.
technologies. Super dope, super cool. If you want to try one out, it's very beginner friendly. A lot of the story modes, if you want to go in there, and it'll kind of teach you as you're progressing.
I
I just
spent 6,000 hours on Age of Empires too.
Ugh.
Oh, dude, growing up, that was my jam right there, dude.
Yep.
I always liked playing as the Aztecs because they had the Jaguar Warriors. But dude, I love that game. And Age of Empires, man, like so Age of Empires 1 and 2, like 2 took what number 1 was and built on it and just kind of had the same idea of 1, but 2 just had more civilizations, slightly more unique trees, and the skins were better, right? And like Aztec castles look like Aztec castles,
Hmm.
but like if you're European, you all have the same castles, right? Um, 3 picks it up and it goes more into the whole like the colonization mindset. And so when you go into a skirmish, you still have your home base that you're leveling up, and so it introduced some of the RPG stuff. And you can start using you have your card deck, and you can start introducing like your import, and it can be either wood, gold, food, military units, or like skill sets. And you build your deck depending on what you want to do. And I'm having a blast with it. It's a great
Another one I liked was Rome. Did you ever
Ro-
play Rome Total War?
Total War. Yeah, so Total War Warhammer is the one that I downloaded. I haven't started it yet. That one came out a while back. It's the second one, I believe. Yeah, the second one. But yeah, those games, those are intense, dude. Those are like you
Hmm.
feel like a fucking general in a battle, and you've got your units flanking and doing all this, and it's a completely different mindset.
Yep.
Um, I started on that one, or the Total War series kind of got me with Shogun 2, the Japanese one. And like my laptop at the time could barely handle it, but it was awesome. But yeah, that was my little bit there for real time strategy games. I know they don't have the biggest population of gamers out there, but it's just fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Any other games to you guys that kind of stood out that kind of came out this year that maybe they weren't the best, but they were kind of cool to see?
Not really. Watch Dogs was okay, but
Oh yeah, so
um,
Ubisoft definitely had a big year.
I
Watch
just
Dogs 2, and then what should we call it?
there was
Assassin's Creed.
Valhalla, but I didn't enjoy that very much.
I haven't played with it, but I've always enjoyed the Assassin's Creed games, even when people shit on them. The only one I didn't play, which I heard I need to go back and try it again, was Unity. Once
Enjoyed the shit out of Unity. It's one of my favorites. I stopped liking Assassin's Creed when Odyssey came out, when they changed the combat and they changed the leveling system and they added all they completely changed it. It didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed anymore, and I was like, this
did
is
you
fucking
did you
stupid.
play Origins?
Yes.
I loved Origins.
Origins. They introduced a little bit of the shit they had in Odyssey, but they still had a lot of the old shit.
Really, so
Odyssey,
Odyssey's
Odyssey
in the backlog. I've got it here. I don't.
Odyssey, they completely got rid of all the old AC2, Brotherhood, Revelations 3, Black Flag, Unity. All the mechanics from all those were gone
Oh
for
shit!
Odyssey, and it was the same.
Really?
It's the same thing with Valhalla that's out now. It's just a fucking run and slash game, man. It's not an Assassin's Creed game anymore. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, because in Origins you still had to be stealthy and do all the crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed kind of weird to me that you're like this badass um, Viking, but you're supposed to be an Assassin's Creed doing stealthy shit, and Vikings and stealth don't really, in my mind, make sense. Like it would
They
have
do
been
not.
if they would have came out with Assassin's Creed uh, Ninja Gaiden something, and you're a ninja doing
And
shit in feudal Japan.
you thought it was Sekiro or Ghost of Tsushima?
Whatever. Point is maybe Ghost of Tsushima beat them to the punch because
Maybe.
that would be the standard for assassin type games if they do one in Asia. Um,
Maybe.
but that makes more sense. Um, Vikings and stealth. I don't think that's what their style was, but I'm still at some point. Once I get through Odyssey, I will definitely be trying that game out. Um, I was never big into Watch Dogs, so I don't really know enough of that game. Although I think I've got a free copy of it, of the first one. Um, some notable, well, really one big notable release for me was Streets of Rage 4. Um, beat it in like an hour with Adams, but it was just good to see that bit of nostalgia. And it was fun. It was short, but it was fun. And
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
um,
And then on the
it
other end of that, fucking Battletoads should have been great, and they ruined it.
yeah, that was one of my biggest disappointments. I was so amped
How
up
does
for
it not have
Battletoads.
multiplayer online? Like, I get the couch co-op thing because that's how the NES one was, but like, this is 2020, dude. Should have
Yeah,
been able to play with two of my
yeah,
friends, Zit and
that was
Pimple
a
or whatever
big
the fuck their
miss.
names are.
Not making it online co-op is just dumb. Streets
Stupid.
of Rage was online co-op, but I can
Yeah,
imagine that mechanism was very difficult to do. Um, yeah, that was a big disappointment for me. Um, I mean, we can go into disappointments. Speaking of,
We've
my
already aired our grievance for our disappointment.
we did.
yeah, okay. So obviously, you guys are disappointed with 2077. We're past that. My biggest disappointment was fucking Marvel's Avengers, and I was so disappointed with it because it was such a fun experience fighting as Iron Man, and like and really like Iron Man, but like because the animations and the skill sets, I felt like very like they were what you wanted it to be, right? Like oftentimes like you they give you a character like Iron Man and he can shoot a blaster, he can fly, and he can punch hard, and that's about it.
Yep.
Whereas in this game, you've got like weapon systems and lasers and rockets and blasters, and you've got aerial attacks, you've got ground attacks, AOE attacks. Like it was so much fun, and he had like the co-op finishers. But then the bugs, man, the bugs killed me. I couldn't progress on multiplayer. I couldn't finish the campaign, and it was just
The
ah,
game's dead now.
Yeah,
Like,
they
as
just
far as-
released new.
Well, they just
Hero.
released Katie
Kate
Bishop,
Bishop.
or whatever. Yeah. So I think that
But
was
they're
probably like
struggling.
a planned DLC that they probably already had done before, but
the player base is nothing compared to what it was, man. It's a dead game.
huge miss, man.
Yeah, huge
Like-
miss. I'll agree. It's up there with 2077 as far as. And
Ah.
again,
Well,
it's not
I
because
mean,
the
I
game
think-
is bad, and it's not
I
because
think
the
it's-
gameplay is bad. It's because they released a
Yeah, it's
broken game.
it's more in
Yeah.
like the
But it was
Anthem and
broken
Fallout
on
76
platforms.
world.
Oh god, don't get me started on Fallout 76. 'Cause
It's that's where Avengers is. It's in that world.
Yeah, it's in that world. I think the next 2 or 3 months for CD Project Red is going to be critical to whether 2077 is in that realm or not.
Mm-hmm.
They can pull a No Man's Sky and completely turn it around.
Yeah, but it took a long time for that to happen.
I'm just saying
And
they
they completely changed No Man's Sky and how it is.
They also made No Man's Sky free.
was it free? No, the DLCs were free. All the DLCs were free.
They
but
made the base game free for like 6 months, dude, and you got to keep the copy. That's how they got people to come back and play it.
Okay.
And it worked because now there's hundreds of thousands of people playing it and they're selling copies like crazy.
I played it for a bit, and it was fun. It was enjoyable. What I'm saying is, you can't come back from death, and in a way, CD Projekt Red has an easier task in front of them because No Man's Sky was getting shitted on for not having features that they promised in terms of like all the DLC, the planets, the
Mhm.
animals. Whereas CD Projekt Red just has to fix their optimization. If they can fix the optimization and the bugs, then you're in the Bethesda territory. You know,
Mhm.
Skyrim, Fallout, shitty buggy messes when they released. Fucking all-time favorites now. Skyrim is probably going to come out. I'm waiting for Skyrim PS5 version to come out. And you know,
Just a few minutes.
it's a good time. Like, and well, anyways, like I was saying, is it has a chance. But Marvel's Avengers
He's waiting.
is on a is gone. It's I don't think those guys even care. They've already lost.
They don't give a fuck. They got their money, dude, and they're out.
Saying
It's-
Square. Well, they didn't get
Square's
their,
working on Outriders.
they did not get their money. I read there was an article that came out, and they definitely lost money. I don't remember the numbers, but they lost money on it.
No shit.
Yeah.
So they've completely given up then. If they've lost money, they're not sinking any more money into it.
Can't imagine they will. If they would just fix the bug that you can't progress, like the game breaking bug for me, I would gladly go back in it. Because like all they had to do was like fix the bugs.
Yeah.
But anyways,
That's all Cyberpunk has to do.
yeah, but the Cyberpunk
Same
is,
thing.
they have to fix the bugs on old consoles, which either they will.
Yes, they have to fix
or
the bugs on the consoles they announced that it would be on. That's not what we're talking about.
They're not fixing. They don't have to fix bugs for me. on
Your
PC.
argument for Avengers is my argument for Cyberpunk, and you don't want to hear nothing
My
to it.
argument for Marvel's
You don't want to hear
Avengers-
no parts of it. They're the same
They're
argument.
broken. No, Marvel's Avengers is broken on every platform.
Mine was fine. Mine was fine.
It's all right.
I had no bugs. Nothing. Just like you did Cyberpunk.
Well, then,
He's
my
So
Miguel, he's got a point, man.
okay,
he's
you
got
got
a
a
point.
point.
our arguments are the same. It's just you don't want to hear one.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's my list. I might have my list. You have your list. Is all I'm gonna say. You're right. It may be that I got bit by one bug and I didn't get bit by the other, and that's my bias. But even then, the 2077, the content is still far superior. If both games work perfectly, I would still say Cyberpunk is a better game than Marvel.
Well, you can't compare them. It's apples to oranges. On the
I
two
know.
sides.
What I'm saying is,
'Cause if you got a guy who doesn't like RPGs,
yeah,
he's
one
gonna say
co-op,
Marvel's the better
single player.
game.
I
If you
know. I
got
know
a
they're
guy who
different.
Come on, man, bad comparison.
All I'm saying is that both games without the bugs, Cyberpunk 2077 is still a
fucking
way
hat.
better game.
That fucking hat on your head is cutting off circulations to the smart parts of your brain.
Really, you gonna talk to me with a Bengals shirt on?
Yep, I sure am.
Trust me, you don't carry much value. Um. Anyways, that was my big disappointment. Another big disappointment because I'm getting tired of Warzone and Apex really being the only two viable BRs, and even then, I think Warzone is way bigger than Apex. And I was hoping for some BRs to come out that would.
I'm honestly kind of just burnt out on the BR thing as a whole.
Well,
I
that
think
comes and goes though. That comes and goes. I like BRs, and I tried two BRs this year that both came out this year, and they just. Bleh. One was Hyperscape,
that had so much potential, but then they made it a
and
fucking hit scan game.
Yeah,
it
that
was
game's.
it
I
was
played it for like a day and a half, and that was it.
yeah, it was such a weird game. It just felt weird. The it didn't really flow well, and yeah, I couldn't get behind it. Um, so that flopped, and then the other one that flopped for me, and actually I don't think a lot of people know about this one, but Cuisine Royale Second Edition, CRSED, and then semicolon FOAD. Weird ass name. Uh, it was like PUBG with abilities, and that game as well. Like I could unload an entire magazine on a guy, no issue. He'd still two tap me and I'm dead.
Yeah. You know, the
Big
thing is,
disappointments.
PUBG's graphics are pretty old. Um, but as far as quality of a BR, it's one of the better ones out, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that one stood the test of time. I
All
think.
the attachments, all the guns, the having to sneak around and all that shit on certain parts of the map, and it's just people can't get over it because the movement's kind of clunky and the graphics are very old.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I enjoyed the mobile version more than I enjoyed the console or
I've
PC.
thought about downloading the mobile emulator that you could play on PC, that other people play on PC on the mobile emulator because it's a more polished version of the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know. I just remember playing it on the phone. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. That one in the COD mobile game. Um, but yeah, and I mean, this is gonna sound a little bit hypocritical, but I am still disappointed with where Warzone is. The optimization is still really random. Some days it'll run great, other days it'll run like shit. And then the broken guns, man, I can't.
Warzone Season 1 through 4. Okay, BR. Season 5, the best fucking BR that's ever been made.
Yeah,
And then after Season 5, it slowly took a dip to just an unoptimized, unbalanced turd.
well, I
Well,
mean,
that started with the fucking.
the second half of the last season, you didn't have a crazy broken gun. Like, yeah, you had the meta guns, which were either the Kilo.
You
That
had the fire
fucking
shotgun,
sniper
dude.
rifle that they released.
Oh yeah, the hit scan sniper rifle, the SR 308. If
Oh
you got the
yeah,
300 blackout
you,
mag,
but they nerfed
mags,
that one. They nerfed that one. They nerfed that one. It wasn't quite as bad.
after weeks and weeks and weeks of getting fucking one tapped with it.
Well, then maybe I'm thinking about the last. Yeah, because even when there was a sweet spot before the fucking R9 fire shotgun,
yeah, that was season
and when
5.
they nerfed that sniper rifle, the marksman rifle.
Yeah, that was
That was
the end of the last season.
Yeah, and that
But
was
then
good. But then they brought in this fucking DMR, and it's just
yeah,
ruining the game. And
yeah,
at least with the fire shotgun, you have to be in like they have to push you, right?
you can
So
counter that.
you
Yeah,
can counter that. You can't counter the DMR with the
they
three.
get you far close. It doesn't matter.
Yep, and you're done. It's whoever gets to drop first, and then it's over.
Yep.
So I'm taking a break from Warzone for sure. I'll be
Yep.
Tarkov more, and I don't know what else. Well, I said if they come out with like Rebirth, I loved Rebirth. Take away loadout and just do a straight floor loot game. That could be fun. Um, but you and I both know they're just gonna give it a few weeks and then they're gonna patch the
Hmm.
DMR and then it won't be like that anymore. The Mag 10, I feel like they'll keep it probably the same for a bit. Um, And I don't know if they're doing this on purpose or not. I don't know if it's like their formula now. Like, hey, we're gonna come out with these guns and wait for you to bitch, and then I'll come out with an unbalanced version of another gun. And because it seems to be like the controversy fuels the gameplay.
Yeah.
But I hate
Yeah.
that because like I love running my RAM. Running the RAM with a canted sight, it was a laser, and but I mean you had the track. What are you doing? Bruce?
There's somebody opening your door behind you. Scared the fuck out of me, man. Looked like a goddamn ghost creeping through the crack of the door.
Or at
And
least
then
you warned him about
they
his
just saw
impending
me
death.
lean in looking, and the door went like this. It's
Some,
opening again. Turn around, dude. Turn
it's
around.
probably my dog. He comes and he'll nuzzle it, and then
How's your dog shutting it again?
no, I think the foundation's not perfectly strict. Oh,
You can just tell us that it's your wife checking to see if you're done or not.
Look, they just shut the door all the way.
Yeah.
That
no,
was
it's
a
my
human
brother.
being.
Yeah, it's not
Oh.
a dog.
It's like,
This is
what the fuck,
embarrassing.
man? No, I was worried, like, is this motherfucker about to get fucking murdered right in front of
My
us?
brother here, so it's all good. But anyways,
I think that wraps it up, though. Finishing with the disappointments.
yeah.
Yeah.
All in all, I did think you know in the midst of 2020 being a shitty year for a lot of people, there were a lot of great games that came out, a lot of good experiences.
He's still fucking with you.
I'm trying to wrap it up, and he's over here. Being,
Just do your little gamer peeps catchphrase. That
anyways, no, all I want to say is it was a great year for video gaming. It's a great year. I think DWFG grew with some really fun, active members. We're definitely always glad to have more. But for the guys and girls that are there and keeping it active every day and chit chatting and bringing on the good times, we do appreciate y'all. You make it fun for us. Hopefully, we make it fun for y'all. We're looking forward to 2021. I hope it's as good as 2020 was shitty. But just know that we appreciate y'all out there. Brutus, Adam, y'all want to say anything?
nope.
No, just we thank you all for listening and all the downloads. We're really shocked by the amount of downloads of this thing that we've had. We
Yeah, somewhere
definitely
around
we're
500.
not we're not expecting that this quickly because we're a small community that's still in the midst of growing and growing pains and all that shit. But thank you to each and every one of you who's downloaded and listened. Follow us on Twitter, and if you want to be part of this conversation, tweet what you liked about the episode, what you didn't like the episode, what you didn't like about the episode. Let us know your opinions on these games we listed today. Tell me to get fucked because I'm stupid about 2077 if you want. I don't, whatever. I'm up for a debate. But no, we appreciate all of you guys out there for all the downloads.
You, Adams, you good? Just want to make sure you get your chance to say something.
I'm good.
All right. Well, to all you gamer gals and peeps out there, thanks again. This is another episode of the DWF Gaming Podcast, and we look forward to seeing y'all on the next one.